Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss Kandi's most recent episode of Speak on It, and she had Kenya Moore as her guest. I want to thank you all for telling me in the comments of my last recap that I needed to watch this Speak on It episode. So I will say, all you Kenya fans, you guys will be happy. I'm going to look at Kenya in a completely new lens because she really had the receipts. And I believed every single word that came out of her mouth. And Kandi co-signed on all of the tea that was coming out of her mouth. Without further ado, let's just jump right on in to this salacious, good to the last drop interview / discussion between Kenya, Don Juan, and Kandi. Kenya lets it be known that at Todd's birthday party, which Bravo for some reason did not show at all, Drew and her met there and they hit it off. And she says that, everything was going well until it didn't. Kenya also lets it be known that Portia was behind the scenes dogging Kandi out regarding the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So she says that's why she made those snide remarks about Portia now being an activist. And that's why she feels that Portia is a phony. Although I did try to give Portia the benefit of the doubt regarding her activism in the earlier episodes, I always had a slight side eye because it was like, how can you protest, but you're sitting up here co-signing old girl from Potomac for doing what she did to another Black woman? Make it make sense. So I could never fully get on board with her activism, social justice, warrior work because it felt sort of performative, and it also gave me, I'm doing this for a storyline. And the fact that Kenya revealed that Portia was doing some very shady stuff in the background, but they did not show it, which they should have, that made me say, wow, so Portia is a phony. I have to say, shame on you, Bravo, for cutting out the whole scene of Todd's birthday party, because it really seems like that's where all of this drama started. Because Kenya also revealed that LaToya and Drew met at the party and they did not hit it off at all. Like, they have always been at each other's throats from day one. And then Kandi clears up how LaToya and her were good friends. And she is the reason why LaToya is on the show, not Kenya. But Bravo, of course, being petty and being shady, they have had it edited so that it looks like Kenya is the reason why LaToya is on the show. But that's not the case. It's Kandi. That was Kandi's good friend. So I said, wow. I said, Bravo production, y'all have a lot of splaining to do because you really have chopped and screwed this season to get us all to look at certain people in different ways when that's not the case at all. But I digress. Kenya also lets us know that she actually likes Fallon. Like, they have a real deal friendship, and she's disappointed at the fact that Fallon is not a full-time cast member, okay? And she says off rip that she wants Fallon to be a full-time peach holder next season. And they're all in shock, like, oh, wow, because Kenya can be sort of hard on the new girl. So for her to give her approval and be like, she wants you as a cast member next season, that's high praise. So she lets us know that she and Fallon go out and have lunch often. They take pictures together. They go out. They have a great time. And the fact that Fallon has an already interesting and compelling storyline. She was married after having 3 kids to a man who's 20 years older than her, filthy rich, has a private plane. And then Kenya also brings up the fact that one of her children has autism. So she just says that Fallon is an awesome mom, just an awesome person all around, and she likes her a lot out of all the newbies. So now we start talking about LaToya, and Kenya lets it be known that her girl crush on LaToya, that's over and done with, okay? Shout out to everybody. She had fun, but no more. She says these hoes ain't loyal, and everybody's cracking up. I was even chuckling like, Lord, this drama between LaToya and Kenya is about to be epic. Kenya says that LaToya has been slurping on too much peach juice, okay? And we all know that peach juice was Portia's nickname when they were at the bachelorette party with Bolo. Kenya says, look, I still like LaToya. She's still a friend of mine, but it's just the fact that she doesn't listen. She is always doing her own thing and not taking advice when people try to tell her to calm down and pull it in. And then Kenya also points out how she was just really annoyed seeing the comments that LaToya has been making on the show, saying that she leaked it, and she's just kind of like, girl, are you serious right now? Like, what would possess you to say things like this, especially since me and you are supposed to be friends? So we also find out that they're about to have some tension during this season, and I have my Prosecco ready. And my champagne. So Kandi addresses Kenya's comments regarding Portia dogging her out. And Kandi says, me and Portia had a talk about it at Todd's party, actually, which, of course, we didn't get to see. But she says that they squashed it and they made up and they said that they're going to be cool for this season. And then we get on to Kenya and the whole Inspector Gadget investigation, Bolo court, about who did what with who. Kenya just says outright, I investigated because I was bored and I thought it was funny. She also says that at first she was just joking, but then she said she heard some comments saying that they're going to sue her. And then Kenya goes on to address her slut shaming some of the women. And she's like, oh, are we going to play this game? Okay, cool. Well, y'all remember how Portia was slut-shaming me? And so she brings up seasons past of Portia slut-shaming, saying that she was a whore and sleeping around with a married one-eyed African, which wasn't true. She also brings up Portia and that infamous sermon that she did. Even though that wasn't aired on the show, it is floating around on the internet. And don't forget, she was also saying that Nene and Cynthia were lesbians and making faces like she was disgusted, and then also saying things that me and Claudia Jordan were messing around as well. So Kenya's just pretty much letting it be known, like, don't pin me with that, okay? I'm just giving back the energy that I've received over the years. And when I tell you, when Kenya said that, I had to tip my hat off to her because I said how quickly we all forget. Because Portia came on this show very demure. Remember how she didn't even like strip clubs? Remember season 5 when she joined the show and she was like, well, Cordell wouldn't want me to go to a strip club. You know, that's just not Christian-like. And they were all making fun of her in Vegas. And to see her do a complete 180 to now she's so sexually free and has a good time, it's just really funny to see the switch. And now she's sitting up here crying about being slut-shamed. So now here's where the conversation gets even juicier, okay? Drew Sidora's name is brought back up. And they spent a good minute on her as well and really cleared a lot of things up. Kenya says that Drew and Portia are the same exact person. Drew is just a tad bit smarter. She also goes on to add that Drew got on this show to be relevant again because, let's face it, she hasn't worked in a number of years. And so Don Juan and Kandi are laughing and being like, girl, here you go with the shade. And she's like, well, no, like, it's the truth. Like, she has not been relevant for some years. Like, that's not even shade. That's just a fact. So Kenya at this point goes on to say that all the ladies, including Drew, all knew that Kenya was not legally allowed to even talk about her daughter. So the scenes that we saw of Drew asking about Brooklyn or mentioning Brooklyn, that was out of line because she knew that Kenya could not legally talk about her daughter on the camera. But we don't know that as viewers. So Kenya brings up when they were in South Carolina at the restaurant where Drew was talking to Kenya and just saying that she feels that Kenya's guarded and X, Y, and Z. And Kenya's like, well, what you didn't see is that that conversation between me and her went on for a very long time. And Bravo whittled it down to like 10 seconds. So it's made to look like I'm being really flippant and rude, when in reality, she did not stop pressing me about something that I could not talk about on air. So Kenya also reveals that Drew also had a mini breakdown after that conversation in South Carolina and was like crying in the middle of the street. And of course, we didn't see that. I'm like, production, why are y'all cutting out some of the most drama-filled scenes of this season? Like, wouldn't that be good to keep in? I'm just saying. Like, I'm not really understanding why we're not seeing a lot of what Kenya's talking about. I think that they should have started off the season with them at Todd's birthday party. And all the drama that went down there, I'm like, that would have been some really good TV, because what we've been sitting through for the past, 9 episodes before it started getting good finally, I'm like, they could have kept that and shown us everything that we've been missing, all the drama behind the scenes. But again, I digress. So Candy's like, I didn't have a problem with you bringing your child. It was just that I felt some type of way because in the years past, our bosses, i.e. Andy Cohen, have let us know that it is no kids allowed. And Kandi felt like Bravo was breaking the rules for Kenya. But she's like, I understand it, but that's just why I was feeling a certain type of way. Kenya also lets it be known that she heard all the ladies arguing and talking about her. That episode when they were supposed to play a game after dinner and Kenya just went upstairs with her baby. Yeah. Kenya's like, I heard you all talking about me. And Candy's like, wait up, hold up. I was not talking about you, sis. Like, remember, I went to your room to even address you. So Kenya's like, not you, but I heard the other ladies, i.e. Portia, really saying some nasty things about me. Kandi goes on to say that she was annoyed with Kenya that night because she felt like Kenya wanted to stop working. Remember, even though it's reality TV, it is a job for them, okay? And they are filming 15, 16-hour days. So Kenya starts laughing and Kandi was like, look, I just have some flashbacks of previous housewives who would try to end the night early by going to sleep because they don't want to film anymore because they're tired. And that's what I thought you were doing. I thought that you were using your daughter as a crutch to end your night early. And then Kandi also makes a joke about how Kenya found the energy to film all night with the Bolo episode. And Kenya's like, well, I think anybody would have found the time if Bolo were coming to entertain them, okay? It's like the ladies, Bolo. The ladies, Bolo. I think I'm going to go with Bolo. Then Kandi and Don Juan start asking her about Mark and the marriage and what's going on. Kenya says that Mark is still in love with her, okay? We don't see the calls and the texts that he sends her, and we also don't see the gifts that he sends her. Now, here's where I have to call BS. Kenya, a man who is in love with you is not doing these awful things to you on national TV, okay? That man is embarrassing you. He's been so awful to you. So please spare me. He's Prince Charming behind closed doors, but he's just awful to you on camera. I don't buy it. I think that you're still trying to hope against hope that this man is going to act right and change, and he's just not going to do it, okay? That man is certifiable. But I digress. She also goes on to clear up all of those how she can't keep a man jokes and how she's desperate and how she paid Walter. We all remember that Walter fiasco, child. And so she says she's been proposed to 10 times. She makes men wait for sex. But she says that, you know, a man isn't worth keeping just to say that you have a man. And I'm like, Kenya, while that is excellent advice and that is true, why are you still trying to hold on to Mark? Let that man go. Find you somebody else. Please. So now we get on to the whole who leaked the information to Page 6. And Kenya is like, not me. Like, she has a bone to pick with Page 6 because they had written some really nasty stories about her in the past. So she's holding that grudge to the end of time. She don't mess with Page 6. Kandi points out how she is friends with B. Scott. Kenya admits it. She says, yes, I am. Me and B. Scott are very good friends, but I did not leak the story. So we're getting to the final moments of this interview, and Kenya lets it be known that we're about to see Drew kill off everybody one by one by one, okay? She pretty much makes an enemy out of everybody. And then we also find out that her and LaToya come to blows in this coming episode, and then they also almost come to blows in the season finale. So I'm just like, Lord have mercy. Those two just can't get right. Kenya also lets it out the bag that Drew is lying about not kissing LaToya, and she also says that Drew was doing more than she's letting on, and she's about to be exposing all of it at the reunion. And she also alludes to there being more audio of what went down with Bolo, and then she pleads the fifth on if she has any audio of her own. And she's just like, well, you'll have to see. They also discuss Tanya for a little bit and how she fled on to Canada Child. And Kenya gives a shady response. You all know that her and Tanya don't get along. And Kenya brings up what we're about to see at Cynthia's wedding. And it's Kenya and Kandi discussing how Tanya has not been honest with Paul about what went down at the bachelorette party. And so Candy's like, wait, what? Like, really? And Kenya's like, yes, like they showed the clips because we're talking about Tanya. And it's just about to be a mess. I will not be surprised if Tanya's relationship is over. I don't believe that Paul is that invested in their relationship. I mean, any man who is willing to have you as his forever fiance for almost a decade, I just don't think that it's going to go the way she wants it to go, okay? And also with her not being forthright about what went down at the bachelorette party, it being shown on air, Kenya alluding to having more information, knowing more, and exposing all these ladies at the reunion, I just don't see her relationship making it. So we see Kenya just saying that they better get ready because the reunion is only 3 weeks away, and she has all of her receipts. She is tired of them trying to make her out to be a liar, and she's not going to stand for it whatsoever. So I said, child, this was some tea. Again, if you have not watched Kandi's recent speak on it with Kenya, I suggest that you do. It is 1 hour and 3 minutes of pure tea. I was glued to my screen, all right? I enjoyed it. I'm seeing Kenya with a new lens, in a new light. Kenya killed that interview, period. She laid it all out on the line. I'm excited to see what she has up her sleeve at this here reunion. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all for telling me that I had to watch, because this was so good and it really ties up a lot of loose ends. And I'm also looking at production with a side eye. Like, y'all have really chopped and screwed this season to make things look a certain way when that's really not the case. But you already know what to do. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.